And to get back to the idea that of the problem of the military-industrial complex is that I think ideally the way the war should be run is there should be a military governor. There should be a general in charge of Iraq, and Congress says you're in charge. Once a year, we will call you back and we will talk to you and see your progress. But otherwise, you are in total control, and we have no influence over what you're doing, because basically there needs to be an autonomous leadership that can decide what to do. And you know, that's not that's a good thing. That's a good way to operate, because generals are intelligent. Generals are the smartest guys you'll will ever meet. Believe me. These guys do nothing but sit in meetings, but it's because it's so much is logistics and so much is just understanding and really fully just being able to run an army is running a small government, running a small country in some cases. Generals can handle that. They know how to run a country. They know how to keep the peace. They know how to do things. They just need the manpower, and that's the problem. Is that there needs to be people in the military. And when I see people get upset about like they're showing recruiting ads at Chuck E. Cheese, it's like, you know what? Yeah, there needs to be recruiting ads at Chuck E. Cheese. There needs to be this idea, and there needs to be this encouragement to join the military. I mean, yeah, some people die, and it happens. It happens in the military that people die. But the thing is, luckily for Americans, it's very few people. It's not as bad as it could be. Um, in in my opinion, and it's the other aspect, beautiful thing about the military is that, you join and it helps you. It's going to give you money. It's going to give you training. It's going to give you education. And then when you get out of the military, guess what? You have a leg up for jobs in the community. And this kind of goes back to Athens. Way 3,000 years ago, well, 2,500 years ago, more likely. Athens was the first democracy, and they believed that if you are a citizen, you have the right to vote. Also, you have the right to fight. You're supposed to fight. You need to fight because you have a vested interest in the in your city, in your nation, in the and so therefore it is your privilege and your right and your responsibility to to put together your own war kit, your own armor and weapons, and to go out and fight. And this, I feel, is that is kind of a neat thing, in a weird way that kind of supports the idea of a draft or a mandatory military service, which in some ways I think that could help. I think that could help, our society, because, with the economy and just this separation between, the poor and the wealthy, and the problems with Katrina, and how we just have this poor underclass, that's not being taken care of. If more people join the military, they would gain access to free health care, to, here's the funny thing about the military, and the drill sergeant told his soldiers about this. The military is communism that works. It is this, it's this, it's a life. Military is a lifestyle. You got to realize that it's not a job. You can't really leave it, and that's why I just don't like it. Because it's a lifestyle that really gets in the way of just what I feel, how I want to live my life. And what I feel is that if people join the military, they get access to free health care. They get access to a regular, steady, well-paying paycheck. They get access to a nice home, and they're also forced to live to a certain level of responsibility. And this really helps and educates and lifts up people. This makes people feel that they are good, that they're part of something, that they're connected to a community. And when they get out of the military, they carry this sense of I have a say in my community. I fought and I did I served, and because I want the same rights. I want these rights. And when they get out of the military and they go back to their home and they see what's going on around them, they want to do something. They want to help. They don't want to lay down and allow things to happen, bad things to happen. And I want to do the same thing in my own community. I see that we need to raise up. We need to increase. We need to help. Or somebody needs to say something. And that's what I feel that I can do, because and I have that right to say that as well. And this is kind of a weird thing that gets back to Robert Heinlein's Starship Troopers, in that it was an ideal of society that there were civilians and there were citizens. Citizens could vote. Citizens had served in the military, and they had the right to say what they wanted to about the government. They had the right to basically dictate how how the country went. And it's kind of a weird thing, but maybe that's not a bad idea.